I think ultimately the thing that people are worried about right now when it comes to Kyle Shanahan and even reading this article from Benjamin Solak of the Ringer, terrific article if you guys haven't checked it out yet. But a big part of it is with Kyle being that way. How is that going to go with our guy Trey Lance? And Trey Lance is the future. All right, Trey Lance is the future. Can Kyle Shanahan kind of get out of his own way and change up some of the ways that he views things to help bring this kid along? They talked about Trey Lance's confidence kind of going down during training camp. How do you let that happen, Kyle? How do you let Trey Lance's confidence go down? He was so up. He was trending in the right direction. He's doing all these great things. How do you let his confidence go down? Well, I tell you how. Every time you had a chance to prop him up, at press conferences, to the media, whatever, you shot him down. That's how his confidence goes down. Every time. Every time Kyle had a chance to prop up his third overall pick, he shot him down. And it was just like so stern. Just, when he gives us a better chance to win, then he'll be the guy. But right now, he doesn't. And Jimmy Garoppolo does. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, when he did some good things. He made some throws downfield. But, yeah, there's a lot of other things that he didn't do very well. Boom. Hurt him. Oh, yeah, no, Jimmy Garoppolo is our guy. I've told you guys that the whole time. Well, will Trey Lance ever get any first string reps? No. Not unless he gives us a better chance to win, which he doesn't. Like, all of that, like, it killed Lance a little bit. And again, I'm not saying that, like, you got to kiss these kids' ass. I understand it. But, Kyle, you gotta realize what you're doing to these kids. They are different now. They are different. I think ultimately, as we heard from Jake Plummer talking about Mike Shanahan, that style can't wear on a guy. Now, maybe you get a guy who doesn't need that, right? Let's look at Bill Belichick and him with Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't need that. But I would be curious to see how Bill Belichick approached Tom Brady and when he was a rookie, when he was a second-year guy. When the Patriots are coming off of a losing season with Drew Bledsoe and the lanky second-year guy comes in for Bledsoe who gets hurt and they roll with him. How did they handle him? Were you critical but also uplifting? He backed him. And I think that taught him how to handle the situation with Mac Jones. Look at the Mac Jones situation, all right? Because we can draw some parallels here with how they handled this situation. But I talk about this sometimes with my time at the Jets, right? And I mean, this is the only NFL team I was a part of. I was a part of other professional teams with, Arena Football League and all that. But the Jets, my rookie year, they drafted Geno Smith. They also had Mark Sanchez, right? And you know what? There's a way that they went about this. I gotta tie this. It's the same thing, just a different way. There was that, like I don't even think we felt it like that. There was Geno Smith, there was Mark Sanchez. Geno was drafted, and it's like, all right, he's a second round pick. Think Geno's going to end up being, that's the guy that they want. Mark Sanchez was there. He was the starter. Was the guy that took them to two previous AFC championship games, right? What they do? They was like, oh, well, how the locker room felt. That's what I was trying to get to. We ain't care, or at least I ain't care, and I ain't seen anybody else that cared. At the end of the day, when you are on the roster, you gotta like whoever they're backing. Oh, well, he's a starting quarterback, and that's probably what guys on the Jets were saying at the same time. Oh, well, Mark Sanchez is a starting quarterback until he's not, and then we get behind that guy, right? Like at the end of the day, guys in the locker room, like I don't think there's just this split locker room unless somebody splits it, like say Terrell Owens with the whole thing. Terrell Owens, like kind of split a locker room, right? With the Cowboys, with like the Tony Romo and the Jason Witten thing and all this, that, and the other. Tony, I think he was in the same thing he kind of did with Philadelphia Eagles. Like, so unless you got something like that where there's like somebody in the locker room like intentionally doing it, most of these guys, they don't care. They want to win. They got a job to do. They're making a lot of money. They got to provide for their families. And I think that's the part of being a professional athlete that people forget. This is their job. Like, it's their job. Like, when you are an NFL cornerback, like, it's your job. When you are a coach, it's your job. I can't worry about this other guy. I gotta put food on my plate. You know what I'm saying? I gotta provide for my family. Like, that's the goal, not who this quarterback is. Because regardless, I have to do my job. Now, can you get frustrated with certain things? Yeah, but I don't think you're gonna get frustrated with like, oh well, they drafted this guy. Hell no, man. Who is this rookie? Nah, man. Unless the rookie comes in with a bad attitude, which I didn't think that's the case with the young kid. Now I see a comment in here. Kittle definitely is taking sides. I don't think Kittle's taking sides. I think if you ask him a question right now, he can't. Like, Jimmy, our coach has told us Jimmy Garoppolo is our starting quarterback. Jimmy has been here. Yeah, like, Jimmy is my guy until he's not. And I bet you this: when Kittle, I mean, when Jimmy is gone, Kittle is not gonna care. You look at what guys did in Kansas City with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, and who they have. They had Alex Smith. Alex Smith had led them to the playoffs. He had done this, that, and the other. They won games and all that. Okay, got this young kid. That's who they drafted. That's the guy. Okay, Alex Smith, dang, it was nice, man. You were a good dude in the locker room. Awesome, great. Okay, but we got this young guy. Let's go. These dudes, they don't care. Like, yeah, I have to back this guy. They had to back Alex Smith until they didn't. Once Alex Smith is gone, okay, it's a young guy. If Alex Smith, like, it is what it is. These guys, at the end of the day, man, like, yeah, George Kittle's quarterback was CJ Beathard in college. That was his quarterback, CJ Beathard. And what happened? They traded for Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's like, all right, Jimmy's my guy now. Like, George Kittle don't care. CJ Beathard was his college quarterback. And at the end of the day, all right, CJ, I love you. They still hang out, it looks like, in the offseason and stuff like that. But Jimmy's our quarterback now. I'm telling you, these guys don't care about any of that. All right, but I do have something to say about how they've kind of handled this situation. Now, clearly in year 2000 or whenever it was, 1990, whenever it was when the Patriots were, drafted Tom Brady. All right, I got my guy Jason. I'm gonna bring you on in a second, Jason. Let me get this thought off. So when the Patriots brought on Tom Brady, they drafted him 6th round or whatever it was, 7th round, whenever it was. What did they do? Okay, you can sit. You're a 6th round pick, whatever. They noticed, okay, there's something there with this guy, right? Started off as like the 4th string quarterback, worked his way up. They had our guy Drew Bledsoe, who some of you guys are young, but Drew Bledsoe was good. Like, Bledsoe was like the man. Matter of fact, Bledsoe took the Patriots to a Super Bowl previously, lost to Green Bay, but Bledsoe took the Patriots to Super Bowl. At this time, you got Belichick. And I'm going off of memory right now. I was a little young, but I'm going off of memory. I remember Desmond Howard doing his little dance into the end zone, all that. What was that, 1996? Was that? So I was young, but I was a football head, so I still remember this stuff. All right, but Desmond Howard returned. You had Brett Favre, who kept killing my 49ers. Anyways, they played in the Super Bowl. They won. They beat the Patriots. I believe Bledsoe was the quarterback. Anyways, moving forward, Bledsoe, still the guy, but, man, not winning as much, right? So what they do, they drafted Tom Brady, wasn't in the rush to play him, and somebody said first $100 million player. There we go. Yeah, Bledsoe is the guy. The young guy sits for a year, right? But you get to sit when you are a 6th round pick, and there really aren't the high expectations. You got Drew Bledsoe as a starting quarterback. All right. Bledsoe gets hurt. They put in Tom Brady, and they roll with the rookie. And that was the change in the guard there, right? And it wasn't this prolific Tom Brady that we're known to see today, right? I mean, it was this young, inexperienced guy who just had this edge about him and this extreme work ethic. And they put an offense around him. Like, didn't ask him to do a whole lot. You look at some of those years, his numbers weren't like great, right? It was just like manage this. Sounds like a current situation that they're in right now, right? But you looked at how he handled that situation, and then they end up ultimately getting rid of Drew Bledsoe. All right, Tom Brady was their guy from there on out. All right, now let's fast forward to 2019. And again, I go back to that, 2021, excuse me. Go back to those years, and somebody said 16 TDs, 12 INTs, I think. No playoff TDs. That's Tom Brady his first year. All right, not crazy. And he came in rather early in the season, maybe 3 games in or something like that. It was really early. I remember when Bledsoe got knocked out. All right, so fairly early. Now, I wonder how Belichick brought Tom Brady along. How did he instill the confidence in him? We know the kind of hard ass that Belichick is, but how did he bring? That's what I want to know. Like, when he was young, how did he bring you along? Did he prop you up sometimes? Did he also coach you up, which we know that he's gonna do, right? We know he's gonna. Okay, hey, you gotta, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. But even when he just showed the slightest of improvement, put his arm out. Good job. Good job. Give this kid confidence. And also, we know the type of hard worker that Tom Brady is. So maybe he didn't need a whole lot of encouragement. But, and again, people were different in those days. Fast forward to what we're seeing now, right? And we're going to talk about the differences with how Kyle Shanahan has handled this situation as opposed to Bill Belichick, who's the seasoned guy, who is the hard ass. Belichick, they draft Mac Jones, right? The moment that it looked like Mac Jones was remotely ready, and people keep saying, "Oh, Mac Jones, he just beat out Cam Newton, beat out Cam Newton." Cam Newton, the game so he got released one day, whenever he got released after the whole COVID thing. But the game before that, right, when the actual last time that we saw Cam Newton play, he completed like 10 of 11 passes. A touchdown, was sharp. He was executing. He was doing all the, like, he looked good. But they also said, you know what? This young guy, I think it's there, right? Like, he's ready to actually play, even if it's not going to result in the most wins. We're going to be better down the road right now playing with Mac Jones as opposed to Cam Newton, because it's not a drastic difference in their play, right? Even if Cam Newton was still slightly better, or even just had slightly better dynamic, doesn't matter. We're gonna get him out of there. You like, hey, Mac Jones, you don't even gotta worry about him. We're gonna get him out of there. It's your show. Let's bring you along. Let's let you grow. Let's build you. Let's do all those things. If it doesn't result in wins every week, which right now, we're the Patriots 4-4, it ain't great. It ain't great, but we're going to be better down the road for it. And 8 games in, hey, let's just keep getting better, right? Let's keep getting better with him, right? Okay, we can take some L's or whatever. Maybe we would have won, or a game or two more with a healthy Cam Newton. But doesn't matter. We're rolling with you. Y'all don't think that Kyle Shanahan had the same opportunity to do those things? Now, here's the big difference. Obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo, a lot more money. A lot more money. Okay, somebody said we talking about the Patriots 5-4. Exactly, right? Now, Patriots being 5-4 right now with 3 straight wins. Awesome. Good job, right? And Matt Jones, he's doing very good. I mean, the defense is like, every time I watch a Patriots game, it's like I see goddamn a defensive player picking the pass off and running it into the end zone, and having multiple red zone interceptions and things like that, right? That defense is balling, and Mac Jones has been a good complement to the defense early on, which is similar to the way that the Patriots brought along Tom Brady, right? You don't have to light the road on fire. Mac Jones, you don't gotta light the road on fire. Hey, might need a throw here and there. Can you make this throw? Can you do this thing? Can you be efficient? Can you not lose the game for us? Right? And they're doing a great job of instilling that confidence in Mac Jones and bringing him along. Well, what does Kyle Shanahan do? All right, what does Kyle Shanahan do? There was a window when we all here every week, we saw it, where our guy, Trey Lance, was lighting training camp on fire, right? Like, there was a window. He was completing a high percentage of his passes. He was throwing the ball down the field. He was making plays with his legs. He was highly efficient in the red zone. It was like a 2-week span where he was like killing it. But every time he had the opportunity, Kyle Shanahan shot it down. Didn't give him reps with the ones, didn't do any of that. So you got one coaching staff where when it starts to get a little even or close to it, let's get rid of this other guy and we're rolling with the rookie and we're going to go with our lumps. And they're going to be better for it down the line. And you got another coaching staff that's like, nah, man, we're going to stick with Jimmy Garoppolo no matter what. And we're going to crush this young guy's confidence and let him know, doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to play. So when we start to kind of, bring it all back to Kyle Shanahan and how he handles things, I don't know, man. I truly don't understand it. I try to understand it. I get where they were going with, and I understand, like, at some point, you had to take on the fact that this is just what it is. When I found out that the 49ers could have cut Jimmy Garoppolo week 1 or potentially traded him week 1 or whatever, and or right when the season was about to start, and be able to roll over $24 million, come on, man. But not giving Lance those first team reps, shooting down him every time you had an opportunity to prop him up and big him up and tell everybody how good he was doing and how impressive he was. Kyle didn't do that. Kyle did the opposite. Kyle shot him down. Kyle shot down the situation.